Welcome. So in today's episode, I just want to show you what we are going to work on. We are going to work on availability settings, and I want to show you what we are going to, at the end of the video, what we would have achieved. So we are going to add this page for doctor settings, and you can see we have two tabs. Okay, we don't have anything on the account settings here right now, but on the availability settings, we went ahead and added the whole week, so the doctor can schedule or can modify the time for the whole week. So for instance, you can see he can add any of these times which are here. Okay, so let's say he can create, and if he tries to add the time, already this is here the selected time. So here select the time you are available for this day. So it says there 7, 8, so you can see up to 10. I'm already having it here. I can remove 10 if I don't want, so we can add time or remove time. You can add 2 and 5. Okay, so he's comfortable with this. He can clear everything, or you can just add, or like we are so much flexible with how we are adding time. Okay, so you can just go and remove whatever he doesn't want, and afterwards you can save the settings. So now can click on save, and these settings updated successfully. And if I check, for instance, here, you will see that this is the latest one. You can see Monday has been updated to this. Okay, so yeah, this is what you're going to cover in this video, and you're doing this for Tuesday and all days. Okay, yeah, so this is what you're going to build, and if you want to see how I'm going to implement this, let's go in and get started. Welcome back. So in today's episode, we are just going to continue. So in our previous episode, we set up these appointments, worked on these appointments, and we also managed to create also the detailed page for the appointments, however much it was not complete. So in today's video, we're just going to work on availability. So these modules, the appointments, patients, and tasks, and so on, we are going to start working on the models for like the patients appointments. These ones will come from the patients. For instance, the appointments will be coming from the patient's side, and this means for instance, where we have this here, like a patient clicks on this time, that means we have to work on the availability for this to be able to happen. Okay, so we need to work on the availability, and you can just see here available today, and then they have the time and even the price. I think this is the price they charge per hour. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and work on that. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and work on more especially the availability. Okay, so availability, remember we had seen this car from Tidy Car, and we had liked this availability. And after trolling for some good hours, at least I spent about 2 hours thinking about how we are going to handle availability in simple terms. Okay, because if you look at this, I thought about this, really it was really getting so much complicated. I managed to do it. I was trying to really use this, whereby I'm selecting here, selecting here, selecting here, selecting here, and trying to create a strings out of this. So you have a lot of state going on. You have to keep state for the date, keep state for each of these ones, and then trying to create a string out of this. This was really hard, and I wrote a lot. You can write a lot of verbose code, so I was looking for a really better way how we can handle this, and I was like, let's first go back to the drawing board, because after thinking about for 2 hours, not writing even a single line of code, I was thinking about there must be a way we can handle this in simple terms. And what came to my mind is actually I went back to this step here. So on this step, if you just see, you see that they are actually having a date. They're having a date, and the day, for instance, today is Tuesday. So Tuesday, March 12, and then they pick the time for that. Okay, so I was like, okay, if this is the case, that means that we are having the data. So the data from our database must be of this kind. Okay, so if you just look at this, I was like, the data must be then of this kind. For instance, we have availability, and then we have, for instance, the doctor profile, where we can get the information about the doctor. And then for each day, we have simply an array of time, just like this. We have 8 time, like different times from 7 to 8, whatever time they have selected the doctors. So you see that for each day he has this time. Okay. So I was like, okay, so that means the profile, the availability model needs to look like this. Okay. So at first I had a very complicated availability model. Okay. It was really complicated, having days, then having time ranges, then from time ranges you have times. I was like, there is no any other possibility out of these days. For instance, we have from Monday up to Sunday. There is no any possibility of having an extended day apart from this one. So if you fix the days, it becomes simple. We only focus now on the time we are going to save in the days. And then for the time, instead of actually selecting the time ranges, I was like, since we need actual time, we simply actually just loop through actual time, because we are not going to be working night shifts, because this is just like you're working with clients, you're going to be booking. It is not recommended like to book at night, so unless it's an emergency. But what we just said is that taking an assumption that the work time is from 7 up to 6, then the working time we also know it. Okay, the working time is in that. We don't even need to select a range. We simply just actually loop through that time, and the doctor selects the actual time they will be available for that very day. So I was like, okay, if that's the case, I can just like have an array containing time from 7 up to 6, and then from there I can create for each day I can create a state that is going to keep track of that. Okay, it's going to keep track of the time that the doctor have selected. Okay, yeah, so as simple as that, you're going to just like simply um create something like that. So we have in settings, we are going to put this in settings. So we have here settings page. So in settings, we are going to have a number of settings for the doctor. And then from those settings, we can just have we can just have the uh, we can just have the what? We can just have the different types of settings we can put under here, including availability. So availability is going to be under settings. We're going to see setting why they can set their services, they can set so many things, and you're just going to put in settings. Okay, so we used to have our settings, and I think this is on, if you check for instance dashboard settings. By the way, we're just going to look at protecting the pages. Someone shouldn't be going to dashboard settings and he sees the settings, like for instance for the doctor and so on and so forth. So here we're just going to use also this kind of setup whereby we have these tabs, and then after the tabs we have different settings like availability, blah blah, and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to go back to Doctor settings. Okay. Okay, so this is the place we need to start updating. Um, I think it is better we use tabs. So I'm just going to start by getting the tabs. I don't know if we already have the tabs, and the only way to know that we already have them is coming to the usage and simply try to import this. So I'm just going to go and figure out where we have settings and a doctor. So if you just go in the back dashboard, then under dashboard you have doctor. In under doctor we have different pages. So settings here. So let me just try to import this on top here. And if you see it is working, then it means we have it. And then I can just simply bring all these tabs and simply put them here. So you can just add these tabs just like this. Now for now we'll have some other things, but for now what we just need is settings. Not settings, this is the settings page, but I mean I wanted it to be designed in such a way that let me just show you an example from, I think, landing folio. They have an example of a good settings page. I can just go here, and let's go to where they have dashboards. I just see what they have dashboard, and this is what they have settings page. Sorry, is where they have settings. Yeah, so there's here they have like a settings page, and you can have a vertical one or a horizontal one depending on whatever you want. But if you look at this, uh, you can clearly say this is really good. Okay, so you could just have something like this in settings. We can just have the tabs, and then on these tabs we can have the availability. Okay, so I'm just going to have here a page title. So let's just say h2, and we could just go ahead and also give this a class name, to give more specific max with it, or maybe okay, mx auto. And then here you can just have settings as a page, and then down here we can have a multiple tabs. Okay, you can just have these tabs here, and let's check. I was also thinking of this format. Okay, let's just stick with this one maybe. So we have this here. We can just add availability, and then you can have here value availability, copy this here, availability, And for this, you could just leave it, for instance, account settings. Okay. So here you just say account maybe. Okay, so we're just going to have one of those two. So you can see we have availability and this one. So let me just make this page BG's maybe blue 200. I just want to see the the area. Okay, so I don't know why it is doing this. Yes, say width is full. Okay. So let's just go ahead and just say also px of about maybe 6, py of about also 6 maybe. Okay. Great. So we have this, and then for this one, class name py or maybe py or padding bottom of about 4. Okay, and you can also give it a very nice bold heading here by just going to typography and maybe h1. Copy this. Okay, so yeah, so we have settings, and maybe that is too big. We can just exchange here to 3 and here to 4. Okay, yeah, that's much better. Then for these, we want them to be, so availability, we have to change default value. So here tab content, we have to change. So you have availability here. And then you have also to have availability. You can just say change availability. Just like that. Let's see. Okay. So this blue now is not necessary. And to control the width, is just say rorem. Uh, if you look at this, it is most likely it is going to be occupying only this area. Now we could just make it to have, I think this one can take in the class name with this full, I guess. Or actually, I think we could just give with this full to these ones. If you just give like for instance 800, you will see that it's most likely to change also this. Okay. That's I think much better. Okay, so now I'm just going to remove the bluish. This blue is not necessary. Okay. So what is now the sort of availability? So what we want is when someone comes here under availability settings, actually, who just what say whatever. I want them to actually be displayed the 7 days of the week. So here we have, like, for instance, Monday, we try to put at least an impression of the whole 7 day week calendar. Okay. So we can just have, for instance, some text we can display here. Okay. Uh, please add the availability for the whole week. Okay. So someone can just come and they can add availability for the entire week. So I'm just going to use the tabs, this side from Flowbyte. And if you remember, we had Flowbyte installed. That's where we added the tabs, these ones, I guess. We added them from Flowbyte. So I'm just going to go and get the tabs. Okay, the one with underline. Okay, so I'm just going to simply copy. So inside the tab content for this, I'm just going to go down here and add these tabs. Okay, so we just need to add. You simply need not to copy everything, I guess. Uh, just simply copy tabs from Flowbyte. And I think we already have also tabs from we already have tabs from the other side, so this will not be possible, I guess. Um, the easy way to set this is creating a component. Okay, so we can set a component. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm just going to create the availability. So availability form. Okay. So I'm just going to go to just going to create availability settings. Do TSX RFC, and I'm just going to have a p tag, and then after that I will have tabs. So that's where these tabs are going to come in handy. I just want the unlined ones. The fact that we used the ones of shard for this first layer, I don't want to put again these very ones inside. I want to get at least the ones which look different. So I can just come and copy this return statement. Okay, so we have these tabs here. So we can just now take these availability settings into the page settings here. Okay, so if you just go to the UI, we now have, we need to see here something. Okay, so make this use client. So just go on top here. Let's make this use client. So use client. Okay, so you can just see we have this. I don't know if we remove the icon, what happens? I don't think we need icons. So if we just come in and just remove this icon, is it a need or something that you can just, okay, you can just remove, you can remove it. So we will not have the icons. So I will have the first tab, the second tab, and I will also see if we can map through this maybe. So we have this, then I have this. Okay, the disabled one, I'm just going to remove it. Okay. So we don't have, right now we don't have this, this is okay for now. So what we want is actually to put, to go ahead and put, let me first give some class to this, padding y maybe of 3, add some space. Okay. So here we need to have like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Friday, up to Sunday. So you can just go through and you set availability for all the 7 days. So let me see. So here inside this is the component. Okay. So the easy way is, um, so let's just first see here const. If I just say const, not inside return. So say const, for instance, days, tabs. Okay, days tabs, and maybe just say const tabs actually is equal to, so we need to have a tab, the display name, we just create actually just the name, the tab name, for instance, we could just say Monday, active, so we could just set like the first one to be active, so just say for instance true. Just a second. If you just check on this, it is only one which has active. So when you click, I think automatically transfer the active one. Okay. So this one active, and then we can also have the component. Okay. We can also have the component. And so the component, and here we can just like for now add this. So we'll have this, the title or the name. Here they call them titles. Just call them titles also. So we have the title, we have the component to add inside here. So for instance, right now, you can just simply copy this, whatever they just have here. and you add it as a component. So this should just work. Okay, so if I just go ahead and just do this for Tuesday, so I'm just going to go this for Tuesday. I'm just going to duplicate this a couple of times. So Saturday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and then finally Sunday. Okay, so finally Sunday. So you could just say Sunday, and active is false. And we need only just to save it to the ones which have others we can actually even remove. We can just actually remove just like this. And we leave it only one, and we just make a condition. Okay, so we have Sunday, Saturday, we have Friday, we have Saturday, then we have Wednesday, and then we have finally we have Tuesday and Monday. Okay, so you can just quickly just go and put the tab. So we can just go here, we just go to the tab, remove all these tabs, and let's go ahead and just map in this tab. So just say tabs dot map, and we have a tab with its index, and we can just go ahead and say return. Okay, so you can just return, and then the title is going to be tab dot title first, tab dot title, and this will add the 7 titles: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so now then inside here we can render the tab dot component. Okay, so whatever we specified inside will just show up here, and that's it. And now the active. So before I put, I think we don't even need active. We can just leave it like that, I guess. Yeah, and it is changing. We can just know by changing, for instance, Saturday to Saturday, just like that. So go to Saturday, and we have this. Okay, so it is changing. We even actually don't need the active, even on Monday. Even here, we don't need the active tab. We just need the title and the component to display. Okay, so having done those ones, I'm also going to remove these icons. Having done that, now the next step is to look for a way how we are going to display the time, because why we are coming in here is for the doctor to be able to select the time. So I'm just going to start by putting like a sort of a card. Okay, I'm going to start like putting a sort of a card, so I can just go here on this component. Okay, so for instance, I could just say Monday. So in this doctor, I can just put, for instance, availability forms. Availability forms. I don't know if they'll be even forms. I don't think they can be availability days, I guess. And then inside here, we can just say, for instance, Monday dot tsx and RFC. Let's say here h2, and we say, for instance, Monday. The word Monday, guys. Okay. So I'm just going to go to these settings, and here where there is this, I'm just going to come and a couple here the actual availability. So just going to come here and say, for instance, Monday. Okay, as simple as that. So if I do this, you should see Monday here. Okay, great. So now I want to go and design something for Monday. So we could start by just putting, for instance, a card. So I'm just going to say class name, and I'm just going to say maybe padding of 4, border gray 200, and in the dark is going to be border gray 600, shadow, and rounded. Okay, so maybe we just also make it grid. So I'm just also going to make it a grid, and grid cores 1, and on SM grid cores 2. And I don't know if we just need a gap. Do we need a gap? So in this, we have 2 grids. So dot, maybe let's just say px2, and maybe I'm just going to say multiply by 2. So in the first one, let's go ahead and add, for instance, I just say here select the times you are available for this day. And then here we're just going to say here is your selected time. Okay, so I just need sort of 2 things whereby I have the time. They can select the time. I want to put a border, and I think here you would put a divide x. Let me see if I put divide x, and then you're like divide gray 200. What will this do? Okay. I don't know if this is good enough. If I add more information, what happens? Yeah, I think that one is okay. And we could just also remove this P, I think this 4. Yeah, this would touch on the top. This is what I want actually. Great. So what I'm just going to do is, of course, go ahead for each of these, give them a P of 4, the one we had given on top, P of 4, to get back the spacing. Okay, so what we need is, we need a doctor to select the time. Okay, we need the doctor to select the time, and I would also put maybe a border down. I'm not so sure. Class name, yes, a border B, border gray, 200. What will this do? Okay, I don't think it is necessary to put a border, but we can just say font board, for instance. The same thing to this other one. Okay. Okay, so down here we can just go ahead and we add the days. So I'm just going to say dot py, the padding y of about maybe 6. So inside here, I can just go ahead and maybe loop. So I can have the time. Let's say I have this time. I'm just going to copy it from somewhere here. Let's say I have this time here from 7 to 6, something like this: 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 6. So this is the time in a day. So I could just go ahead and, for instance, inside here, I loop through this and I say, for instance, times dot map, and we have access to post time with its index, and we could just go ahead and return, for instance, a button. Okay, let me just say maybe p tag. We designed this, so let's just say I'm just going to return an item, maybe p with a button. um the- hmm, hmm, we could just make this a button, and for, yeah, just make it for a button. Okay, and instead we could just have a span which shows time, time, just like this. And then down here we could just also they have the plus maybe icon. Okay, we just have a class icon Okay, just like this. Okay. So of course we should have a key, something like this. So if I just go ahead and check now, we should have like time. Okay. And we could just also make sure this is flex with flex wrap, I guess. Okay. Okay. We could also have here items center, and we could just add this as a button someone can click, and then when he clicks it, it should just come here on the selected time. So give some stylings to this. For instance, padding y of 2, px of 3, and maybe we just add a border only. Border gray 100. Okay. You give, we can just go ahead and give gap of 2, and let's also make it rounded. I don't know if gap has worked. Mm-hmm. We could just instead here add, we could just have here, we could just have this as even grid, I guess. Grid. Okay. And let's go get the gap. I don't know why, for some reason, gap is not working. Oh, this supposed to be put not on the button, guys, just here. Just say gap, you know, something like this. And for this flex, put the flex back. Okay. I guess they could even go there 3. Let's try 3. Mm, seems 3 they're not fitting there. Can we reduce the padding first of all in each? And also the font. So here you just say text SM, for instance. Yeah, so this looks great. So we have all the available time in the day. So what we want is now to add the selected date here. Okay, when someone comes on Monday, they can just click on I'll be available on 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 4. If you don't select something, then it will not be added. Okay, we could just add I think the border, this could be just like blue. However much you don't want just to stand out, but blue give it something. Okay, great. So now how do we add the selected time this side? So we could just also simply create an instant whereby we have a state. So I can just come here and I say, for instance, const selected dates, selected times, set selected time is equal to use state, and by default this will have nothing. Okay, and let's say it has maybe some part of this one for part of styling. So I'm just going to put them here, and now what I can do is I can just simply copy this. Okay, I can simply copy this, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste it here. Let's copy this whole array and let's paste it here. Okay, so you can see the same thing there this side. We can change the array. First of all, let's say selected times. Now we should just have few of them. Okay, now we need to change them, at least the color. We can change them and we give them maybe blue or something. So these ones, I'm just going to give them class name. So instead of border, we're just going to give it an actual BG. So this one should be the BG, for instance, in, I guess in, and we could also just leave the border, gray, blue, like 500, what happens? Okay, just like, just check what happens here now. Okay. Uh, we could just go ahead and just like make this the BG blue, maybe 50. Okay, so that's much better, and it looks like the buttons, let me see, items center px, is it this gap here? We have here gap, and even up here, let me remove the gap. The gap, gap. Where is gap here? Okay. And justify, maybe just give it this justify center. It should just have justify center. There to make sure that everything is in the center. Okay, so these are the selected times. So how do we add this? Because by default, when we click on 7, 7 should just come here. Click on 8, 8 comes here. Click on this. And then at the end, there will be a save button. So I'm just going to create inside this very one at the end. I'm just going to create dot border top. So just going to put it the border top dot border gray 200. Okay, and yesterday I'm just going to add a button, an actual button from UI, and this is going to be like save. Okay, it's going to be like save, and in fact we could just call the we could just call the submit button. I think we have some submit button, not submit event, submit button, something like this. And submit button cannot find submit button. Okay, so just go ahead and see this. It doesn't take children. It simply takes this props, takes 3 props and title. I just say save, is loading, and the loading title, saving, please wait. Okay, so what is remaining? Submit button has no corresponding, just add this. Okay, so we have one error of which I have no idea. Okay, here we can just also create state for loading. So const loading set loading is equal to use state, and we can just first set this by false, and we can just come here and we just say loading. Okay, so now when we just go ahead and check, so we have this this here. Now we have to take this out of the grid. So the easy way is take this out of the grid. So this is the grid, and let's put down here. Okay, we don't want to be in the grid. Okay, just like that. And let's just also add, maybe we just add padding top. Okay, So great. And we could just say save settings. Okay. Okay, so now we have this. Nice. So just add the functionality for adding this time. So when someone clicks something, we need to update. Okay. So what do we need to do? So we can't just say on click. So let's just say there is handle function handle add time. Okay, so add time, maybe it should take in time, and then it should just go to time is a string. Maybe just has to go and access, so to be selected times, and you would first have to access the previous times. You have to get the previous times that has been there, and then we can just go ahead and set this to new array containing all the previous times, and then set, and then you add the new time. Okay, but we want to check if this already exists. If we do this, and let's go ahead and console.log, let's go ahead and console.log selected times, and for this on click, I'm just going to add it on these ones. So if you just add on click, okay, so on click, I'm just going to go ahead and call this function handle add time, which is actually the time. Okay, just like this. If I just do this, and let's make this here, and by the way, we need to make also this responsive, I guess. Is it already? Yeah, it is already responsive. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the console. So right now we have an array containing 4 times. So just go and add. So if I add 7, so you can just see the array is now 5, but it is having 7 2 times. Okay, so if I just add one more time, so it is still adding 7. So you could just go and say if in this, we could first check here on, we could just go here and check on this, and we just say if, okay, if selected times dot includes time. So here we just only need to, when it is not, okay, so just use this guard cross. That's when we want to do this. Okay, so if the selected does not include time, then is when we can do this. So just going to refresh, select, refresh here, So we have this. If I try to add this 7, so you can see nothing is happening. If I add 8, if I add 5, it adds, but if I go ahead and add 5 one more time, it doesn't do anything. Okay. Maybe we could just say we could go ahead and say that time mode is selected or added. Maybe we could just like if, for instance, it is, we could just say toast dot success, I think dot error, time already added, time already added. Okay, so just say if I try to add 4, adds, so 4 is already there. If I add 1, oh, 1 is already there also. Just say like 1 I not added 11. Are you kidding me right now? Everything I'm clicking is already added. 11. So this is, oh, I just said suppose put errors. I put errors, I guess. Did I put supposed to have errors, not just clicking just like that. So just add 1, and if you add one more time, time already added. Okay. And we could just say here we concatenate the time itself. Let's just do that. You can just say here we customize this, and you can just say $time. Okay. So if you add, so 10 a.m. already added. Okay, it is here. Great. 7 already added. So okay, so that is okay. I'm just going to first go ahead and clear this array for the selected. So by default, there will be none. And we could also simplify his life by adding all of them, maybe by default, and then he can just remove the ones he doesn't want. That is also a possibility. We could add all of them by default. Okay, or we could just have even add one button here at the beginning which says add all. Okay, let's just add that. There is one button I'm just going to add, I think outside. So select the time. So this one is also going to be here. I'm just going to come here, Control C, and I'm just going to add this button outside here. And this one is going to be add all time. Add all. Okay. And this one doesn't need to take anything. Okay. So just going to go ahead and just create that function, and this one is just going to have add all. Okay, and just going to go ahead and just create this handle add all. And add all. So it doesn't take in anything. What it simply just does is set. So this one is just going to be setting, is simply setting this to the times array. So just going to be setting it the times array. Okay. There is no need even of saying previous. I don't think we need previous because here we are setting also there is no need of previous. I'm just going to simply just say this so that we'll just replace whatever it is there. So if we just go now and check, there must be one button here, add all. So if we just simply say add all, you see all the time here is being added. Okay. And then you can save settings to simplify their life somehow. And this one we can just give it this border, maybe we just add it 300 purposes of being somehow different. Okay, yeah, that's really different. So you can add all, or you can add individual, and then also here you can also, we could add clear, a clear button, so that you can clear everything. I don't know if we should add it to this side, the add all and clear all. Maybe clear we put to this side. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and just say not this one. And this one we might just either modify it or we might just create another one. Let me just go and get just any other button like this one. So you could just come and just put with this one. And we could just go to this one. We also make it just flex, justify between, and this one would go here. Okay. And instead, we're just going to say clear all. And this one should have the clear. And just go to Lucid. Trash. It. Okay, I think we just put X. I'm just going to put X. Okay. And this one should have a border of red, I guess. Okay, so we have clear all, and clear all does the opposite of this one. So just going to say clear all. Okay, clear all. Just come here and let's duplicate this and we make this clear all. And this one is just simply setting selected to an empty array. Okay, so this one, if now clear all, simply just makes this an empty array. And we can also just take off everything. This one here, this div, we can only show this div if there is something. So let me just go to this here, and I'm just going to only show this if the selected times dot length is greater than 0. If this is true, then can just go ahead and show this. So that by default, if we don't have any time, if we have the time, these ones come. If I clear, they go, and I can add one just like this. Okay. So we need to create an object. On clicking of saving, we need to create an object, and the object must be in this format. Okay, so you can see we need to create an object in this format. Okay, that has a day plus an array of the selected times. So we can just create that. So let's just have handle submit. Let's have this as handle submit. Submit is going to be a function. So function handle submit. And let's just say const data is create. We create here the we just say Monday. I'm just going to come here and add the data selected times, just like this, and go ahead, of course, also console.log the data. Okay. So now if we want to add these save settings, so there are two ways we could just have done this. I think the easy one is if we want this to work, because we cannot add on click, it will complain, right? So you can see if I just do something like this, on click is not does not exist on this intrinsic blah blah is not assigned type intrinsic, does not exist on this. Okay, so alternatively is just have a normal button. Okay, is to have a normal button, or we could just put in the form, but of which I don't think it is necessary. So I'm just going to come here and just say duplicate one of these. Actually, just have the normal button. Just have a normal button, just like this, and just going to say save. save settings. Yes, we're going to say save settings. So you can see the same thing. Okay, so the advantage is this. Now we can add on click. So just say on click, and we can just say handle submit. So you can just call handle submit, and let's go and check in the console. So clear everything, and let's add some things. So we already have something, and if we click here, we create an object having Monday with all these times. You can see 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. So this is great. We need just to simply update this, okay, to the availability. Okay, so is there any data we need to save with availability? Let's see. So we have to first create, of course, we have to create the availability here. You look at this. It has the doctor ID, so we have a doctor signed in, so we can get ID easily. So then we have data for the days. I don't think we need interval. We don't need interval, but what else do we need to get here? So the price will come somewhere else. Uh, this will come when the doctor is setting up a service. Okay, when they are adding their services, that's when they are going to set the price. Okay, for now we just only want to add the availability. Um, it's okay. Just add it. First create this model, and just going to go ahead and add in these ones. So I'm just going to create a model, and I'll just create and add in this availability. I'm just going to go to Prisma. Okay, let's just get here a simple model. Just see availability. So we'll just have all these and replace them with this. So we have doctor ID, and I think the doctor ID we are trying to mean the profile. Uh, we could just go ahead and attach it to the doctor profile. Just go and attach it on the doctor profile data. Yeah, just add it on the doctor profile. So here we just have to come and we say that that this contains, so the same relationship we have here with this. Okay, so we have doctor profile. Doctor profile can have so it would have this. Let's first put this. And this is going to be the how do I just add it? Doctor, this is going to be like the doctor profile ID. Okay, and this is going to be a doctor profile ID. And this is going to be doctor profile, and this is going to be doctor profile. So we just need to go ahead and add this relationship on the availability on the this doctor profile. So this one can have availability. So I'm just going to say availability is availability. So just going to just add availability just like this. And let's copy and see how you put a question mark. Okay, something like this. So you have availability, it has a relationship with this here. So we need to find how you're going to get the doctor profile. And that is by fetching we need to go this side and fetch a doctor profile by user ID. Okay, so in actions, users, I just create another one. Just going to create another one. Maybe add it here on these ones. I can see we have create update. So just go and just create one for gate. We're just going to create get profile by ID. So just go and get this. So it's going to be get doctor profile by ID. And we simply just need ID to pass in the ID. So I'll just go and just get update profile. Yes, a profile is equal to Prisma client. Here is find unique, and we don't need this data. You can just go ahead and console the profile, and you can just return return profile, and your status is 200 success. Okay, just like this, profile was not fetched or something like that. Okay, so just going to go ahead and use this. So where are we going to use it? So we might just go to the settings page. I'm not sure if we can just come and fetch from here. So from here, then just get const profile is equal to await get get profile, I guess, get profile doctor profile get doctor profile by ID. So you're supposed to pass in the ID. So to get the ID, you can just get const. You just have to get session is await get server session, and then from this we're just going to pass in auth options, and then from this we can just simply get const user is equal to, if session exists you can just get a user, and then this can be user.id. Okay, so here they're saying this is possibly undefined. First add this here to make this async. Uh, so here we have an error argument is not assigned type string, so we're just going to add an undefined to this here, undefined, and this should take away the problem. Okay, so we have the user, we pass in the ID here. Now we have the profile, so you can just go ahead and just pass in this profile. We can pass into the availability settings here. So just say profile is, and by the way, there was actually no need of really, it's okay. Profile is equal to profile. So I need just to receive this. So you can just come here and just say receive the profile. And this is going to be profile from doctor profile, Prisma client. And now we could just continue and pass this to Monday. And all of them, they will need it. We just say still just say profile is equal to profile. So receive it here. Okay. So now we have the profile. We can just go ahead in here. We need to pass, we need to have the ID. In other words, we need to create an object that resembles this one. We have to pass in the doctor profile ID. I don't know what name did we give it. So we need to pass in this. Doctor profile ID. Okay. With a bit settings, we need to get here this. I need to get this into the data. So where is handle submit? So we are creating data here, and I could just say come and paste this. Is going to come from the profile dot, and we have out of things, but we just need ID. Okay. I don't know what is this saying. Data. Okay, so the return type, by the way, just have to remind you that here, whatever we are getting is supposed to be profile.data. Okay, supposed to be profile.data because whatever we are getting back was just the data. Now we just say dot data. Now we have the actual data. Now I don't know what we have now. The problem. So could just say here is this or undefined maybe. Okay, and then of course the same thing here or undefined, and then we will have a problem on this. Okay, I'm just going to say I'm just going to wrap all this and I say if profile dot id, then we can do this. Okay. So I don't know why here we having things quarreling again. Type not even say signable to this. So we have also others which have a possibility of being null, and we could just go ahead and make this any. That would simplify our life because this whole chaining of things. But finally, we are okay. Now, if we just go back, I just need to look at our object right now because we are signed in. So if everything is set very well, we should be able to have an object containing the ID. So just go ahead get save settings. Where is save settings? What is happening? We could just let me just say here errors. I'm just going to just say console.log ID is not set. ID not set. Just to know that we are not getting the ID. And by the way, wait a minute. So when we pass in the ID of the logged in user, just a second. I think we got a wrong one. It's supposed to be doctor profile where user ID. Okay, where user ID is actually the ID. And you could just actually just say here user ID instead. User ID. User ID. There is no need of this now. Yeah, so I think this is the better one because on this we are not getting just the profile, we are getting from this where user ID. Let's refresh one more time. Clear this. Let's go save settings. Okay, so now you can clearly see that we have the doctor profile ID plus these times here. Okay, that's great. So we have whatever it takes to save. So the only thing now that is needed is to push this to the database. So availability, we have the profile, we have the dates, and of course this one will be created automatically. So I'm just going to stop the server. So just go here and let's stop the server here. So Control C. I'm just going to say npx prisma db push, and I'm just going to say and npx prisma generate, and then finally npm run dev. Okay, so that one is going to go ahead push to the database and generates for us also the new Prisma client, and then after that it will also start again the server. I'm just going to go and uh, refresh. And this will be easy for others after we have done for the first one. It will be easy for the remaining ones because okay, so I think we are in. Okay, so right now we have this. So what we need to do is a server action that is going to take on the save, that is going to take in the data. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to close everything here, and let's go to this. Now the data, we have prepared it very well, we have everything it takes. Now it's time we save. Now for the first time, as you can see, we are having we are doing for only one thing. Okay, we are doing for one thing. The first time is going to be create, but then how do we update on this Tuesday, because already it will be having the Monday set? How do we create this availability? So the first one we are going to create, then the question is how do we or get the ID so that we update? Okay. Um, we optionally we can also keep this in the context. the availability ID. So when we successfully create, we can we could just go to the next. By the way, how we could just save this in the URL of the open tabs, but these upper tabs and the bottom tabs. But if you have saved this, you just simply need to go here on this one. So we need to save, in other words, the ID in state. So how about when it comes next time? I think next time is easy. Oh, I think we already have, we can update, let me see. So we have this, if I just go back to this, I think it is on the onboarding or user. So here we have get profile. So this profile is actually which can have availability. So I cannot say, just say down here they say include. Okay, so we can just also go ahead and include, here we can include availability true. Okay, so that means that we can, when we create and we go to this, okay, we should just, by the time we go to this tab, we should be able to get the availability and we can get its ID from it. Let's just try and see. So the first time is going to be create. So I'm just going to go here and also say create availability. Create availability. Availability. Okay. And you have some data. We don't want anything to do with resend or anything. I don't know if we're supposed to destructure this data. Okay. I'm just going to simply leave it as data. So this one is going to be new profile, new availability, Prisma availability dot create, and then let's pass in data. And for this case, we could just go ahead and return new availability direct, as simple as that. Not even as an object, just simple, just like this. Okay, so let's go and try sending some data and we'll see if it is going to create. We just simply need to pass in the data. So go to settings. In fact, we just go to Monday, and okay, so just come here. So while we have handle submit, so here we're just going to turn that into an async function, and then just going to go ahead, and if we have created data here, we just need to see, for instance, const. We could just simply await. Wait, and we could just await create availability, and let's pass in the data. Problem, we are not handling this properly. You're supposed to have a try catch. Just it is always good to have a try catch. Okay, so just go and try this and see if something happens. And we're having a lot of consoles going on here. Oh, this is the fetch data. Where are we consoling this? Let me first try to trace the data here. We have a lot of console. So this is the place where we are getting the profile. We pass the profile settings. Settings, are we consoling anything here? We are passing it to Monday. So where are we consoling the thing? So just go ahead and try to create something. So I'm just going to add all. Just go inside this inspect console. So since we could also handle the loading state if we wanted. We have the loading. So here you could just say, for instance, set loading to true. Okay. Set loading to true, and when everything is okay, yes, I set loading to false. And you can also go here and set loading to false. And then we can use this loading state here in this button. We have the clear button and this one. First of all, you can just say disabled is equal to loading, and we can also say change these titles. For instance, we could switch the buttons, or we just use the same button. I don't know which one is easy. You can just have another button here, which will be showing the loading speed. Huh? Uh, I think it is animate. Um, this one is not going to have anything. It's just going to have disabled. So I just going to come and say if. Just going to say if loading is true. Okay, we can just show this button. We have this and then we have this. So just go and get this and just going to show here. And here just going to add saving, please wait. Okay, so just go and test right now. We have written a lot before testing. Let's go and say save. So I will first go and add all, right? Save. Okay, so something happened. I don't know what, but could check on this UI and we see if things were created. Okay, seems it was created. So you can see the IDs here, profile IDs there. Monday have been created, and then these ones have been remained empty, which is very okay. Okay, so for that matter, we just need to fetch now to see the profile. So I'm just going to go to, for instance, Tuesday, which is going to have the same exact thing. And by the way, since we have also the profile, let me just go and test from Tuesday. So copy this and duplicate it, and just going to name this Tuesday. And this Tuesday. So we'll have this exact same thing like that. On it, I'm just going to go to availability settings and pass in the component. So if you go to Tuesday and you try to access, right now we need the availability data, okay? So if we just go to this profile, right now we have the profile, we could just say and say const availability data is equal to profile dot, so this, it is supposed to have availability So if we just console.log, let's console.log profile. Okay. So you can clearly see we have Tuesday available. Just look at the data. So we have all this information and availability is here. So we have the availability is there. So availability is there and we can get the ID from it. Okay. We can get the availability from it. This, I don't know why they have not added this. I'm just going to say const availability. First, I'm just going to just say const availability is equal to profile dot availability. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. Okay, so here they say that here they are just saying probably profile is possibly null or undefined. So whatever we need the availability, so can you say here? And you could just say or null, maybe. Property does not exist on type. So how do we pass in that? Because we are very sure it is there. So I'm just going to do, for now, I'm just going to say this is going to be any. Okay. This can be any and should give us the availability. So on the availability, we need ID. Okay, we need the ID. So when we come to here, instead of, we have to check handle, and at this point, we don't just only need the profile. Okay, so the profile should be there, and then inside we should also check availability ID. So I'm also going to check here availability. So I'm just going to come here and say and availability dot ID. Okay, so this, then there we can just have the data, and this is Tuesday. Okay, we need a doctor profile ID. Now, in this case, we just need to write an update. Okay, here we just need only update. We're just going to update. Let me just go and create this function to update. So in the actions, we just need update availability by ID. So we just have this ID and data. Okay, so you just here updated. You can just come and you see updated availability is equal to Prisma dot availability dot update ID, and then let's return this. Okay, so we're just trying to update. So let's just go ahead and say we have this. If we just go back to Tuesday, we can just make another if statement, by the way. So I'm just going to go ahead and uh, create another else. So I'm just going to say else if profile dot id. Then we can do the create. So when there is profile and availability ID, we can update. If there is only profile ID, we can always create. So I'm just going to copy this and then add here. Then we can also add else. Let me just say here console.log profile ID not set. So profile ID not set. Okay. So we have two scenarios. If there is profile and availability ID, they are all there. So here we just go ahead, you get Tuesday selected times and then the doctor profile. So in this case, here we are going to update, and in the update we need two things. So if we just say here update availability, we need ID, and in this case it is the availability.id. So in this case it is this availability.id and then the data. Okay, so we just pass in already and then the data. Then else we'll have this create the new data object using the profile, and then we can create. Okay, so let me just go and see if we can update. Just going to go to Tuesday. So this is Tuesday and we have here everything. I'm just going to add all save settings. So just go ahead and just add save settings. And you could just also console.log. Okay. Let's just go ahead and just add save settings. Okay. And let's go to the console and we see. Okay, so you can see Tuesday was updated nicely. Let's just add toasters. We can just go and add the toasters. Where do we add toasters? Monday on Tuesday. So you can just add. And the same thing is going to be done still on this. What I've done on Tuesday is going to be done here. Monday. So get this update. Make sure here is Monday. So you can, and then there is availability. You have to define also availability here. So make this also any, and we are good to go now. Okay, so now the only thing is to make sure we also persist. So right now you can see there is this. If I just do this, refresh, and actually just go and make sure we don't have any in the selected array. Okay, let's make sure we don't have anything. What is this saying? We could just set it to just like this. Even for the other Tuesday, the same thing. Okay, so that's great. Or we could start by adding all the time, or we could just leave the default. But we have also to add the remove time, because what if someone doesn't want he wants to remove, so at least he has a ability to add this side or remove something he doesn't want this side. So let's just leave these defaults we had actually, like just to have some time, like up to 10. You never know, he can just add in or remove some he wants. The same thing, just leave some defaults, just like those ones. Now, instead of putting a plus, let's put X. Let's put X. The remove time. So just go and see. So this is plus. I'm just going to add X. Okay. Okay. So, and then also we are going to give it, I think, the, should we give it a border of red? Mm, just give it a border of red. So this is going to be red. Okay, so for this one, on a click, we need to also do something, remove. So we have, well, we have add time. So we just need to remove time. So I'm just going to add remove. Okay. And I think this one's supposed taking the index. I don't know. It's supposed taking the index. So this one, let's just say index. Index is a number, I guess. So it's supposed to go and set. Let's just say, for instance, const updated time would be equal to the selected times dot filter, and then just going to filter. Just going to filter, and you can just have access to in with index, and we can just remove. Supposed to remove just like that. We can't just return index not equal to index, just like this, and then we can just say set selected times to the updated times, I guess. I just say handle remove. So on click, let's pass in the index. I'm not so sure if this is going to work anyways. Okay, I just click on this. Ah, okay. So it actually goes, so it removes it. So we can now add and remove time You can add, you can remove it. That's great. You can now go ahead and save or update. Okay. So for instance, I just try to update here. Okay. Of course, this one is already there. So save. We're supposed to have also toasters, but let's first check here in the console. Yeah, so you can see it has been updated to this. So the update and create, they are all working properly. So now the remaining thing is what we are remaining with is that we need to add toasters. That is the first thing. So let me just say update. So here just say toast dot success. So here you can say setting updated successfully. Uh, I think I'm starting to get tired, guys. So settings updated successfully. Okay. I'm just going to copy this and just put it down here. Okay. So I'm just going to go and check one more time. So let's just see if the toasters are going to work at this time. We are on Monday. Let's add all the times. Save. Okay, successfully. Settings updated successfully. Let's go and check. Okay, so you can see all the settings were added on Monday. So this is great. We are able to add this. So what I just want is try to do for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. For all these ones, simply copy the forms and the person can simply go ahead and update for all the days they want to be there. Okay, so just do that, and then the next episode, I'm just going to show you how we are going to persist them from the database. And you can also easily do that by simply fetching. We already have availability, so you can just set the initial state for this data and we can be having the one from the database. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this episode. I will see you in the next one.